Hello and what is up, everybody? Thunderbob here, and I am checking out a new game tonight. This is Andro Dunos II, and I had to do a little bit of thinking because I've played the original Andro Dunos, and I thought, was there a 2 and like they're just porting it to PC and Switch and everything finally? And I did a little research, and actually, this is a sequel to the original game. The original game came out in 1992 for the Neo-Geo arcade and home system, and it had kind of lukewarm reception. I think it was okay at the time. I actually didn't play it till way later, but it was on a system that not many people had, and wasn't, I think, a big following in the U.S. I played it on my Legends Ultimate in like the last 2 years. And I thought it was pretty decent. It had a kind of an interesting system where you can switch your weapons on the fly. But reading a little bit more about this, they actually made a sequel to that 1992 game that feels like it could have come out in like 1993, to be honest. It's a little archaic. To start with, when you first launch it, there's this really odd launcher menu on the PC. It doesn't give you a lot of options. It's barely legible. But when you play around with it a little bit, I've got it running with a gamepad. I've got it running in a decent resolution here. We're just going to jump in and check some of this out. This is from developer Purosign Soft. I might be saying that wrong. It did come out March 25th, which is yesterday, so this is brand new. It's $15.29 on sale right now. Normally it's $17.99. Let's see the tutorial here. And that's super loud. I'm going to have to turn that down in post. Okay, let's skip the tutorial. That's fine. I will figure out as we go. Okay, so right bumper lets you cycle through your weapons, which this is probably the original, like the biggest draw it had was you had like 4 different weapon loadouts that you could switch on the fly, and I think you could independently like power them up. So like if I switch to this power, it's at level 1. You see how the numbers are under it, but this one is still level 2. So you like, really, if you were good, you could end up leveling up all of them and switch them on the fly. And I think you could use your charge and like cycle through them. I was never very good at it. I beat it with a lot of credits on my arcade cabinet. And I thought it was okay. It's not like one of my favorite shooters of all time. I think reading the reception it has, I think when it came out it was like decently received, but over the years it has a bit of a following. People like some of the things about it. Oh, and it looks like you do keep your levels when you die. This is still at level 2. That's interesting. I don't remember if that's how the original did it or not. It's possible. And I am a big shoot-'em-up fan. I bought an arcade cabinet, like I mentioned, and I've probably played through like 50 of these in the last 2 years. All the cave shooters, you know, Gradius and Earth Defense and the Dodonpachi, and I don't know. I can't even name them all, but I'm not good by any means, but I do enjoy these quite a lot. Takes me back to my youth in like the early 90s. Oh, it can't touch the ground there. Okay, so A lets you start up. And I am playing this with a controller. My Legends Ultimate, I can, it's possible to hook that up. I hit my special there. To stream like Steam games to it, and I kind of want to try this on my arcade cabinet. Hit my special at the right time now. So you have like I want to say an independent charge up. No, maybe not. Okay, so your special recharges. That's what I wasn't getting there. But I think this would be really cool to play on actual arcade hardware. It's so crazy. This feels like a sequel to that 1992 game, like something that would have come out a year or two later, like kind of refined and with some new stuff added into it. It's just crazy how well they've emulated that style and that era of shooter. I'm not saying that's necessarily a great thing, because, you know, things have modernized and changed over the years, but... Okay, so you can... Okay, I can take this point back. Which was the one I was using? I think this is the one I liked. Let's see. That's cool, though. There's not a lot of shooters that let you pick kind of things. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. That's alright. Because I hardly ever shoot backwards. Oh, but this is they just going in... I was gonna say, is it going in reverse? That's a cool... Not a lot of shooters that do that. Unless you're talking about, like, Asteroid or something. Oh. Man, I'm sucking right now. I'm not gonna probably beat this in one playthrough. I don't want to necessarily, like, show the entire game off. Just a couple of levels, probably. Maybe 20 minutes or something. Right now, I'm digging it. It's a little pricey, maybe. You know, it's like $17. A little bit less with the sale. I think I read that this is out on Switch for $20. And I also read that this is going to be supposedly the last physical 3DS release, which is blowing my mind that there's still a 3DS game coming out. I mean, this is, I guess, is a final 3DS game. Oh, God, I suck these days. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this right now. It's definitely hitting a lot of notes that I enjoy. This is the one I like, the double shooter that goes forward. I really enjoy Dodonpachi. I might be saying that wrong. Something about that series I really enjoy, where you get a shot that gets so ridiculous that it just fills up like the entire screen, and it's less about hitting your targets and more about dodging. Not quite bullet hell, but close to it. That's a vertical rather than a horizontal shooter. Whoa. What's going on? I don't know anything about how this boss works. Oh, I think I gotta shoot that thing. What? I didn't even tell what hit me there. This is literally my first time playing this level, so apologies that I'm kind of doing terribly here. Those lasers, something about how there's like a gap in it is totally throwing me off. Yeah, that thing, that purple laser that kind of like stops and then like reboots almost. I wonder how many credits you get. Is this like an unlimited situation? Oh, I see in the bottom right. 2 credits. See how far I can make it on my first attempt. I need to do some more arcade nights, actually. I was streaming my arcade briefly. Go with that one. I've actually been putting a lot of time in Elden Ring lately. I'm about halfway through it. And then just announced that Diablo 2 Resurrected patch and ladder are not too far away. I'll definitely be putting some more time in that when it comes out. Really cool level. Asteroid. I feel like I'm having trouble seeing the incoming, like, I don't know if it's bullets that are getting me. Could be I'm very tired. I was at the fair with my daughter all day. But I'm not a complete novice at these games. But you might think otherwise watching me play. It has been probably 2 years since I played the original. Like, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't remarkable enough to, like, where I wanted to necessarily replay it. Ooh, look at those asteroids when they hit. They, like, launch a little laser. Not laser, like a little explosion. I'm not completely sure of the charge up mechanic yet. Like in the bottom left, these little dots down there. I don't know what that actually represents. Alright. Last credit, I think. I do like being able to switch through the different loadouts. That's pretty cool, and like the independent levels, and there's some cool stuff that this is doing. If you can get, you know, beyond the archaic graphics, definitely this could have been a Neo-Geo game. Is basically what it feels like. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm definitely not as much a graphic snob as I used to be. Damn it. I think that's it. One more. I've been actually on like a really big retro kick the last couple years. Oh, that's it. Well, I made it to what, the third boss? It's not bad for my first go. Ranking 7. Is that just local ranking, I'm assuming? Oh, there's so many symbols. Just go back to the letters. I should have gone the other way. Yeah, that must be local, because they're all even numbers. Alright. I think I'll end it here, but that was enjoyable. Let's just look at what our options are. So you got a stage select. I guess we can take that to mean there's this many stages. That's pretty good. I mean, I played for 20 minutes or something. The original Andro Dunos, I want to say I beat in like 35 to 40 minutes. Those old school shooters are notoriously short. You had to beat them on, you know, a single or several quarters in the arcades. They try not to make them too long. Options, you got difficulty levels, arcade, Android, journey. You can set how many credits you start with. Change your button layout, weapon rotation. Go to default. Okay. And then let's look at the ranking. This is still just the... I think that's just... It looks like the local ranking. I don't think there's any kind of online multiplayer. I don't actually see... Okay, I don't see any way to get into multiplayer on PC, which is kind of unfortunate. Like when you start a game, usually like it will say like, you know, press a button to boot in. I'm not seeing that. I pressed something on my keyboard to see if maybe I could do that. Maybe if I had another controller set up, but I'm not seeing a way to initiate multiplayer here. I could be mistaken. Looking at the Steam page, yeah, it's single player. So that's unfortunate. These games are always fun to do cooperatively. So no multiplayer, online or otherwise. Ranking appears to be just local. An online leaderboard, I think, could add a lot. It's unfortunate. But overall, if you are looking for a pretty faithful follow-up to a rather obscure Neo-Geo shoot-'em-up, you can't go wrong with this one. Thank you everyone for watching and have a great night.